Hello. We're actually here this time, I promise. Welcome to the AEL High School League Term 4 here. My name is Matsy. I'm coming to you live with TwoTapTony. A man we haven't seen for a while, but he is back in action. And Tony, how you going, mate? You're all moved into your new place. How you feeling?
I'm ready to go, Matt. As you said, all
Yeah?
moved in and ready to hop back on the mic and commentate some lovely games.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds like a story of a crunchy or who knows. Good stories to be say the least there. But let's get into thanking some of our friends coming in to the game here before we get started. So, first and foremost, we'll thank some of our sponsors. The first being Acer Predator Gaming as our presenting partner. Definitely a big shout out to them, providing all your gaming and education PC needs, empowering the high school league here. Up second is none other than ViewSonic, the education partner. Upgrade your classroom today with ViewSonic's large format interactive displays and the MyView board software suite. And up next, it is AOC Monitor, the gaming monitor partner. Get the best gaming experience with their latest range of gaming monitors. Definitely a big shout out to them. I use their monitors. They're pretty good. Next up is, last but not least, Rig Gaming, the gaming headset partner. Experience great sound with Rig's gaming range of headsets. Definitely a big shout out to them. If you need a headset, get involved. Definitely be sure to check out our sponsors. But Tony, we've got games happening today. We are gaming. We've got some Overwatch 2, obviously coming to you live today, and I'm pretty keen to see how I guess the games do shape up heading into the playoffs here, because we obviously had 4 teams make their way through. I believe it was I'll have to refresh my memory. I think we had Southern Cross White, Buff Bastion, KGSC, Overwatch 1, and I believe My Name is Harry, if I'm not mistaken, as some of our teams that made it through the playoffs today. So I don't know if you managed to catch some of the games, but definitely keen to see how, I guess, the teams go, because I managed to cast some of the games last week, heading into the last week of relegations there before our playoffs, and they actually played some pretty good games of Overwatch, I got to say. I'm definitely eager to see how they contend against each other heading into this week's set of matches as well, because we did have, I'd say, some very dominant games from some of our sides. I feel like some teams, were a bit slow to start, but then as the day progressed, they were able to perform to the best of their abilities. So I'm keen to see how today actually shapes up, whether it's a bit of a warm-up type beat, whether it's going to be straight in, guns blazing, shooting off like the fireworks, like it's New Year's Eve, like we're having a party at Tony's. Who knows? It could be crazy, but I guess coming into it with a fresh set of eyes, Tony, how are you feeling?
I'm interested to see how the compositions are going to look like, because of course it's Overwatch 2, no longer Overwatch 1, and with that new number comes a different way to play. I guess you've now got more 2 tanks and of course 2 supports. Sorry, 2 DPS, 1 tank, 2 supports. It's a little bit different of a composition, and of course it's changed up the meta quite a bit. A few characters now very very much have fallen out of favor in terms of, I guess, how some of these teams want to play, at least at that competitive level. Of course, a few characters getting a lot more room to shine now. Of course, you've seen the Genjis, you've seen the Zayas, all very, very prominent kind of picks for, I imagine, a few of these teams this afternoon.
Yeah, looks like we've got some of our players in the chat as well today. I do see Cynico there, who will be one of our players heading into the matches today. Be sure to watch out for Cynico, because they were a really dominant sniper player heading into last week, basically mopping up enemy opponents one by one. It was actually pretty insane to see the impact that Cynico was able to make in their matches. So if they remain uncontested heading into this week's set of games, I would be very scared if you're the opponent, to say the least, as we'll see how we do go. But obviously, we do have our first set of opponents, rather, who did manage to play against each other in the first instance last week, and Buff Bastion actually came out on top. So I'm keen to see if the narrative will stay the same, or whether maybe there'll be a few chapters which might change course.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether we can get that revenge arc going or not. But you know, it's as I said, interesting. I believe we have gotten a few picks in through for our finals. I believe the first map will be Oasis. So
Oh
starting
boy.
off with control should be an interesting one, I feel, Matt.
That's not what I thought we'd get to see through the gates. Kick it off strong, mate. That's crazy. Holy moly. Well, regardless, it should be fun. Certainly sure. But looks like we are just having some technical difficulties here at the moment. So we will have our first match coming up soon with Buff Bastion as well as their opponents coming to you live very shortly. We are just going to head to a short break whilst we get Buff Bastion and Southern Cross White, prepared for battle. So we'll be back in a jiffy. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL High School League Term 4. Matsy and TwoTapTony coming to you live once again. Thank you so much for your patience there, but after all the waiting, we are going to be getting into game, and I am so keen to get down to business here to defeat the Hun, and let's make it happen once we do get in the game here. But Tony, how are you feeling, mate? We are going to be into Overwatch 2, mate.
Overwatch 2, it's been a while, it's been a long time coming, I feel, and, you know, it's going to be an interesting one. The meta's changed, everything's changed. Of course, we're live down to Oasis, our first map of this final series. It was SC White versus GLC Buff Bastion, and of course, a few technical issues while we get it all sorted, but I saw a few players ready to go, raring to get Oasis. Of course, a map that kind of favors a lot of these more aerial style DPS picks. Of course, we've seen a lot of Pharah Mercy be very prominent on that map. Echo can also run amok, but of course, we will now get to see who we see in this first map for both these teams.
Yeah, definitely excited to see how it's all going to go down as well here, Tony. Looks like we are just planning on our character selection now. Generally, your heroes. We'll see what they're going to bring out. Looks like it is going to be the Hog coming out with a Pharah, Mercy, Junkrat, and a Moira on the Southern Cross White side of things there. GLC Buff Bastion going to be bringing out the Reaper, Zarya, Moira, and Kiriko. So, going to be a lack of DPS there, but they can definitely still make an impact with the characters they're picking into this one. I'm eager to see how it's all going to shape up because SC White might just be able to use their numbers to their advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one as well because GLC, Cynico, lo and behold, has actually gone for kind of a pretty solid counter pick into the Roadhog of SC White, as you can now see. A few bit of nades coming over the top from Alpaca. Blade taking some space, looking for a hook. Nothing quite yet from Blank Paper as, well, GLC Buff Bastion, they've already lost the player. The power of this Pharah Mercy is just so overbearing to take the middle side of this, teleport into the middle, but a lot of damage being dealt out here, and SC White are just cleaning house right now.
Yeah, really managing to capitalize on their numbers advantage, just singling them out one by one there. The Junkrat making an impact on the ground, and the Pharah allowing them to dominate the skies as well. All looking good so far as they do take control of the first point there. But it's important to note, everybody, this is going to be a best of 5 series, so either side needs to win 3 maps or 3 parts of the series in a row here in order to take a victory into the grand final. I'm eager to see how it all goes down.
Yeah, we're already seeing a few swap-ups here from GLC. We, of course, no longer see the Reaper. We no longer see the Zarya either. It's Orisa, Soldier, looking to go a little bit quicker. Zen, Moira, going to be the heal duo being brought out. But you can see Boris just absolutely bullying him above the spawn line, just railing off shots. Alpaca with a few grenades at range, and they're just sending them and leaving them in their spawn right now, though. But the power of the Orisa, able to pull out the Javelin, able to look to push on into the Roadhog, almost getting taken out. But the power of the Mercy and the Moira, so much heals being output here, and the whole Hog coming through and the barrage. You can see so much damage, and SC White still able to hold, but this Tracer on the flank here, Cynico looking to get amongst it, and well, for the moment, they have to scramble back to the point. SC White need to group up because Cynico's done a bit of damage. He's found a pick off onto Alpaca, but for the moment, SC White, they're able to stabilize at that 70%, man.
Yeah, that's another one of Cynico's powerful picks there. They really do a good job on that Tracer, the Widowmaker. Just a lot of impact through and through, but it is going to be Blank Paper pulling through, filling out the canvas there with the blood of their enemy. As they do manage to take down another one. Gandalf not going to be able to make them pass either. Will be shut down. At least Cynico does get a trade back, but the percentage now starting to build up. Cynico needs to tap the point here. Playing around their teleports as much as they can. Do contest on the point as much as possible. Playing for OT here. And it looks like they will be able to pull through.
A valiant effort, I have to say, from Cynico. Getting some damage in. I thought almost a back cap there for a minute. SC White, unfortunately, pushing a little bit too far forward there in that spawn camp position. But of course, the Pharah Mercy, Matt, is always an overbearing thing to see, and of course expected to be brought out here on that first map of control here. course, now this one a little bit more closed in of a control point here. But Boris, I have to say, been landing some of these rockets pretty effectively. And for GLC, they're thinking the same way here. Gandalf and Cynico going to be now onto the Pharaoh Mercy as well. Moira still being rocked. Bomber now to the Roadhog. A little bit more damage being brought out here. A little bit more area of effect on the side of GLC this time.
Yeah, I feel like the area of effect play definitely could help them, considering that their enemies donning the 5 players, you know, definitely could allow them a bit more presence here. See how the Pharaoh Mercy versus Pharaoh Mercy combos go, though. Whether either side has something to deal with them. And Paper already taking out Moira there, so good start. Looks like they are trying to make a bit more happen with it. Good trade coming back from Cynico, though. Almost managing to get something more. 1 healer goes down. Cynico absolutely on a rampage right now. Isn't managing to take out the other Pharaoh, though. And that's going to cost him.
That was a huge hook there from Bomber, able to get Forest out of air. And now, of course, leaving his healer Little Horde to be forced back to the spawn. Regroup with the team, of course. Cap point here for GLC. Huge triple there from Cynical. Just finding those marks, getting very close range, I have to say. A quite dangerous prospect to go for if you're Pharaoh. But of course, now high in the sky and leading the charge here. The Bastion now being brought to the table by Boris, the ult. Of course, being thought about. Needs to find some shots in. Those Cynico just taking them apart once again. Going high, looking for Alpaca Blade, but needs to snipe out the Moira, get rid of the healers off the table and get the damage out. Alpaca snipes out Cynico, but still the control is being held here from the ultimate, the whole hog from Bomber and GLC. This is
what a hook.
What a hook as well. Not quite able to find it. The Moira dash away to safety. Tosses themselves off the map to respawn and regroup.
Their name's fitting, Tony.
The name is fitting. Yeah. Yeeted Whale.
Yeeted Whale.
Yeeted himself off the map. But yeah, of course, SC White now looking to regroup with that. They've swapped to the Genji.
I definitely feel like that can help, especially trying to deflect those Pharaoh rockets there, because really, you don't have much to worry about other than that damage-wise from GLC. Sure, maybe Bomber might do a bit, you know, with their gun there, but... Oh, here comes the barrage. Huge clean there. Little Horde actually being taken out as well. Say goodbye to Mercy. We'll see what happens out of this one. Boris Johnson going to be taken out as well. So, really great reactive play coming out from GLC Buff Bastion here. Even if they're at a disadvantage, they've made a way to make it work for themselves. And I really respect this kind of play coming from them.
Yeah, and this is definitely not what we were expecting to see out of the GLC side, especially after that first map where SC White just seemed to have such a stable hold. Now swapped to the Baptiste. They just tried everything. The Ashen play as well. Blank Paper able to find Bomber. That's one player down. And finally, they've found Cynico up on the high. Boris able to snipe one out. The healer's taken. Moira's still effective for the moment, but the trap take it. SC White on the very last margin, 99% for GLC. But now SC White, they find themselves a cap.
My gosh, Tony, that was a bit of a close one if you ask me. Definitely keen to see if they are going to be able to bring it back. Cynico now going to be donning the Reaper of all things. Considering that SC White's a bit more groundward now, Reaper can work here. See if they do manage to find the distance, though. I like the Baptiste coming out as well from Gandalf there. Taking a bit of damage, however. Looks like Gandalf going to be keeping them alive a little bit longer. Brian as well, or Priron, going to do something else here. Damage orb comes out. Alpaca Blade ready on the Junkrat, getting in their face. Good to use their utility, trying to clear out these healers. There goes one. Looking for the Baptiste as well. Just being so mischievous, just bouncing around there. Do manage to hold on a little longer. So, GLC stay alive for a bit here. There's Zo's Bomber. Good hook. Keeps them in the fight a bit longer. Cynico goes down, though. So they are forced away from the point here.
I'm liking this change up, though. Getting out the Ash. Probably a lot more damage being brought to the table, especially with Bob being tossed there, just shooting GLC in the back. But, of course, the whole hog as well being brought to the table by Blank Paper. Nobody's getting hit by this for the moment. You see GLC, they back off, they play the safety of that pillar. Alpaca Blade to snipe out Gandalf. It's just up to the Moira now to keep GLC healthy, 70% up. SC White, they're back to the point. Cynico, though, has found a teleporter from high ground, 80% to that ultimate, and this could be a beautiful sweep there. The whole hog once again from Bomber has been absolutely detrimental. GLC still trying to get this point with the Moira, but of course Alpaca Blade's still alive. Moira down to half, able to shift away, and here comes the rest of GLC, able to come back to the point, and they've contested it 2v1 now.
The supports are just doing it all here, Tony. Keeping the point alive. They do manage to get the kills. They're going to be able to tick it over on 99. Oh my word, Tony. They've contested again, though, on the SC White side. So the battle is far from over here. Little Horde doing their best to stay alive. The Moira ultimate does come out, though. Keeps them alive a little bit longer, but they have been wiped here. Cynico just trying to shoot him down again. Gets it done. Tracer on the point for Boris Johnson there. They just keep holding on. So tenacious here. At long last, they get the kill. Time's up. Snap back to reality. It is GLC Buff Bastion to take the round.
An absolutely huge swap up there, and you saw the Death Blossom come through. I have to say, Bomber with those whole hogs, Matt, just absolutely ravishing through the side of SC White, and well, it's all tied up. It's 1-1 here as we go to the final one on Oasis here. Control, of course, the name of the game mode here, and this one more tendant to the Pharah as well, a lot more of an open style here, but of course GLC, I have to say, swapping up to this Baptiste, bringing out the Moira, and Cynico, as you said, Matt, a heralded player coming in huge. GLC getting it done in the 4v5.
Yeah, getting it done in the 4v5 there. Definitely eager to see if they can keep it consistent. They brought out the Sojourn now. That's going to be a dangerous pick for them. I like the Reinhardt pick coming out from SC White, though, considering how much control they can take with it. Looks like Boris Johnson's already gone down to Priron, though. Good start from our GLC Buff Bastion side. Cynico being very slippery here. Oh, look at that damage. Going absolutely major at the moment. Playing really well around their supports as well. And they do find the man advantage here.
And Alpaca Blade getting bullied off the point. Shazorn just so slippery and so easily can put out that damage, charge it up to about 60%, and you just let the bullets fly through from the left click. And huge shots coming out, fully charged once again, and Cynico just poking. You see a little gravity well put into the play. GLC for the moment, they've got control of the point, and they're just looking to bully off these supports, bully these members of SC White off this point.
See if they can continue to find success in that regard as well. Yeeted Whale has been yeeted off the map again, Tony. Seeing a trend here. Now we'll see what happens heading up forward, though. It's good to see GLC have managed to find a bit of control so far. Good hook coming out as well, forcing the fight there. Not going to get a kill off it, but at least keeping them on their toes a little bit longer. Looks like a charge could be in order from SC White now as well. Oh, Cynico activates the ult there. Looking to go for the railgun. Oh, not finding anything yet. Getting close. There it goes. Healer's down. Whole hog comes out as well. 2 kills so far for GLC Buff Bastion. Hook comes out, though. Almost getting another kill for SC White, but not today. Another whole hog, Tony. It's just left, right, and center. Trains coming out.
And that was a huge overclock there from Cynico. You can see just the effect of GLC wiping those healers first, and they've got their healers still in play, able to just bully these players out. But the blade here for Boris, he wants to pop it. It's just going to be the right click of the shurikens here, just getting on top of these GLC players. And still the contest comes out now. The blade will be popped. A few left, right, but no one finding good night just yet. And still the hog up. Bomber able to heal. And that ultimate there, Boris not quite able to find anything from it.
Yeah, not able to find anything from it yet, but who knows? Something else could be on its way soon, as SC White do manage to bring their way back into the server now. Have taken control here. Now just need to hold on to it. Be ferocious heading forward. Don't give them a chance. Let's see how it all plays out, though. They just go for the damage over time, bringing out a few little tools at their disposal. Junkrat doing a good job at just pushing out the grenades there. Does have the support of their teammates as well. One big hook here could turn the tides for GLC Buff Bastion, though. I can see Bomber. They're just searching for it. They're thinking, oh, where's the right angle? Oh, it could have been there, but not today.
They also have to be careful of the Riptire that Alpaca can pop in just a moment. But here comes the whole hog once again from Bomber. This time, not quite hitting the mark. You can see The GLC are forced off the point. Gandalf and Bomber fall. Moira beam into the damage. The dash from Boris to finish off the last player. SC White hold that push off, and they don't even need the Riptide.
Yeah, good to see that they can hold on to that utility as well, Tony, considering how much impact it's going to have towards the later stages here. GLC buff Bastion could go for a last-minute push, and then that Riptide could be exactly what they need to get them off the point. Big hook coming out there, though. Does start things off with a bang. Blank Paper's gone. No tank in sight here. A lot of pressure now on SC White. They've lost another. They need to do something to stick together here. Good pressure coming out, though, so far. Boris Johnson stays on a little longer. Gets absolutely annihilated by Seneco. The Riptide does eventually come out. Doesn't matter, though, because GLC buff Bastion are ready to play, and Seneco now cops the res as well.
And the res comes out, and Seneco's back there, puts down the disruptor shot there. Slowly dealing damage here, just slowly clawing down the time. Another Dragon Blade pop by Boris, but it's still just not hitting its mark where you want it to, though. A final shot finds Cynical, but Bomber is still here to hold the point with his two healers and outputting so much damage he has been on this Roadhog. You see even Moira getting in the mix. Some shots coming out. The Mercy almost been taken. And there goes Little Horde. Alpaca looking to be the next victim here. Boris gets up on the height to stall for the moment, but it's cleared completely. GLC buff Bastion are going to take Oasis.
Great stuff coming out from them there. They managed to really bring it back from the dead, you know. Uno reverse card through and through. Play of the game as well from Bomber here. Whole hog. Oh, I remember this point. Huge hook there. Sending him into action. Bomber just doing such great work. Coming in to the games there. Very impressed how game number one actually sorted out. Definitely eager to see how things go down heading into map number 2 as well, because obviously it's a best of 5, you know, that we could potentially have all 5 maps. That was map 1 though, and it goes to GLC buff Bastion, and they could have a 5th player on the way in this second one. Considering how they did with 4, Tony, I would be very, very worried. What happens when the 5th player arrives?
Yeah, definitely. I was literally just about to bring that point up. 4v5 GLC able to do it. And I have to say, some heavy work being put in there by Bomber and Cynico. And of course, especially as well, the healers both coming in huge. The Moira Mercy, just so much heal output being brought to the table. Then, of course, you saw, I believe at one point, they even brought the Baptiste to the table. And, well, of course, coming out on top overall, GLC, I'm looking out for Bomber because he had an absolutely huge first game there, and look to see what he brings to the table next. I don't know if it's going to be the Hog again. Of course, that map, especially Oasis control, you're a lot more easier to implement that Roadhog. But of course, a few of the other maps, like the hybrids, of course, Roadhog a little bit harder to use in those kind of scenarios.
Yeah, it definitely is a hit or miss type beat, isn't it, Tony? Because obviously you can find a lot of use out of the Hog, but you really have to play around it very, very strategically there, because Hog can definitely really initiate a lot of fights there, especially with that hook. Has the utility in order to keep themselves in the game a little bit longer, but maybe we could see it interchangeable. You know, maybe we could see something like the Orisa come out heading into the next few games, for example. I definitely see a lot of use in that character, especially, you know, being able to deflect a lot of the damage. Obviously, there's other utility in the ultimate as well, being able to drag all your enemies in, do a lot of damage with that one. So could see an Orisa heading forward. I did see a Zaya briefly come out, I believe, for the SC White side, I'm thinking. That one also can have great use cases as well, but it all just comes down to how things do go heading forward, Tony. And, you know, if I wanted to want a hero on the tank side of things to come out from either side, I'd say maybe it's the Monkey, Tony. Maybe we could see you bring out your special costume. Who knows?
I'm definitely a big fan of the Monkey. I have to say, the Monkey's, I don't know, Winston, not too great a pick, I guess, at the moment with all these, you know, obviously double DPS now being the heavy favorite. You can melt shields so much quicker than you could before. And of course, for the side of GLC, we even saw them go up against that Reinhardt that SC White brought to the table just very, very briefly. And you know, while you saw the Reinhardt not quite able to do much when you can just shred around that shield, you're able to just output so much more damage than you could previously. And, you know, GLC are props to them, 4v5, taking home the first map. And, well, it's going to be interesting to see what we see for the second.
And a quick update, everybody. The next map is actually going to be a bit of a classic one. It's going to be King's Row coming to you live next. So definitely eager to see how that one goes. Who knows? Maybe we see a bit of Hollywood after that, right? Maybe Route 66.
Maybe. Ooh, Route 66. I haven't seen Route 66 in a while.
Oh, yeah. El Clasico, Tony. Nah, mate. We're playing Volskaya Industries, right?
Right.
Nah.
Don't get me started. That's
Torbjorn's playground.
Guilty favorite of mine. But yeah, King's Row actually going to be an interesting one, especially because, you know, we brought up the point that Hog might not be picked, but it might be picked again because, you know, there's a lot of chokeholds you can hold in the map of King's Row. There's a lot of boop spots to send a player off of the map with a potential hook, or we might see some Lucios even being brought.
Don't tell Yeeted Whale that, Tony.
He might be listening in. He's taking his notepad out. He's writing.
Avoid the boop spots. Avoid the boop spots.
Avoid the boop spots.
Oh, poor guy. We saw him get taken off the map.
That's he kind of had to. He kind of had to, Matt, because, you know, at a point like that, your team's getting completely wiped. You want to reset your respawn timer. So, you know, he just happened to be in that situation where, well, I'm a Moira. I can't really 1v5 here. I'm just gonna have to 1v4, sorry, and I'm just gonna have to respawn for a you know, respawn and reset with my team. But I believe we have received word that it will be a 4v5 again for GLC, and this is going to be a bit of a worrying one because King's Row a little bit harder to attack and hold against, especially in this 4v5 scenario.
I agree with you there, Tony. It's really going to be a hard one, and I feel like Cynico not having the flexibility to play into the Widowmaker on this map could be a bit of a factor as well. Because, you know, having another DPS on the front line, it's fine. You can play around the Widow, you know, they can keep them at the back to do all the damage, while the other DPS at the front with the tank and the healers is able to hold things down. But Cynico are going to have to, I guess, be flexible with their options. We saw a bit of that in the last map as well. You know, they played a bit of Tracer, a bit of Reaper there, even Soldier coming out at one point, I believe. So definitely eager to see how they maneuver their picks. And it's really going to, I guess, be dependent on whether they're on the attacking or defending side as well. But I suppose we'll see how things do go. Looks like we are getting players into the server momentarily, though. Hopefully they've got their mouse plugged in, keyboards plugged in.
All charged up too.
Will be, all charged up if you're using a wireless mouse. I think I see you've got wireless mice somewhere in the background there.
Yeah, it's sitting in the background there in the box.
That's
just a spare one, of course. I've got the one plugged in. That'd be.
I hope it's plugged in, Tony.
I was hoping it'd be plugged in. I was gonna say having it all the way.
Maybe you got a touch screen. I don't know.
That maybe.
Touchpad.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Hopefully, though, all the players have got all their gear sorted, and well, hopefully we see another big game from Bomber and Cynico. I have to say, of course, props to the healers too. We've been shouting out those two, but the healers have also been doing a heavy amount of the work. So props to the healers there for GLC, because of course, running that Roadhog, you're a lot easier able to charge ultimates too, especially with the Mercy. You just hold down the left click, and all of a sudden you're at full charge. You're ready to go, heal your entire team with that AoE beam with the Valkyrie. But of course, for the side of SC White, it's going to be an interesting one in terms of the morale, because you just lost 4v5 game 1 in a very important best-of-5 final.
Yeah, it's definitely going to play on it to the mind there for certain, but we'll see how things do go. Ooh, hello menu. Hello lobby. Let's go back into the game. There we go. We can see the game now. Saw a few different picks coming out in the practice stages there with the warm-up. Looks like we are going to be getting into game very shortly, though. Got the big Omnic statue there, Zenyatta, or whoever it could be. Maybe his cousin. Who knows? Just chilling at the front of the point there, holding the planet in their hands.
Way to the world here for SC White. Maybe looking to bounce back. Of course, the hybrid map here. Control into payload here, Matt.
Tony, they're listening.
They are listening. They're listening.
Arissa's out.
Arissa
Look what Cynico's playing.
Ooh, Ooh, okay. The Widowmaker here for Cynico. It's going to be interesting, Matt, because Boris does have the Orisa, as we've mentioned. So it is going to be hard. Maybe Cynico... It might just be the pick to swap off here, but...
I think it'll work because they're on attack. I think they can easily play around it with Bomber on the Reinhardt as well. Prior going to be on the Moira. They can kind of interchange, you know, between that heal and DPS Moira role. So definitely can see a bit of impact there. Gandalf playing Baptiste again. I think they've got enough frontline potential, but Cynico is going to have a lot of pressure. Oh, Blank Paper's already aiming them out as well. Ready for the frontline presence here. Here comes Cynico. Going for the shots there. Ready for the Ash. Trying to pick that corner. Oh, not going to hit him just yet, though. Has to wait a little bit longer.
You see the Reaper being brought out. Teleport early for little hordes and shots. Not quite hitting the mark here for Cynico, but they're able to take out little horde, and there's the first.
Oh, no.
Hello line, man. Cynico starting to fire it off. Sees an Ash in front, but the shots are coming. The Reinhardt giving so much free space here for GLC, with that shield being brought up. Attempted dash forward, sleep dart, and blocked completely by the Orisa. The power of this character, but a fire strike lands dead onto Yeeted Whale, and this is where GLC start to make their push. Cynico is being taken out by the little horde in the back line, who is now just firing shots off into this Ryan for free, but able to be healed up. Gandalf now being the secondary DPS that GLC need, but here comes the Orisa firing through. Not much you can do against the Javelins with the mitigated damage. SC White are able to hold down the point and force GLC back.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job so far. Looks like the Widowmaker is going to be switched off as well to the Tracer now. Good to use Widow to open up the point a little bit at first, but now the pressure allowing them into more close quarters here. It's really unfortunate for Bomber that on the Ryan, they aren't really able to use their charge, but that Spear is just completely mitigating the impact of that over and over again. Here comes the ultimate though. Do manage to steer clear of the impact. Looks like the invulnerability will be taken out as well. Yeeted Whale going to be the first to go though. Good start already for GLC Buff Bastion. SC White still holding on, not going down without a fight. Boris Johnson going to be taken out though. Looking to do a little bit more, but without that Orisa, charges could be coming in force here. Bomber not looking to let things up as well. Anti comes out, but it doesn't matter. Managed to get on the point here. Blank Paper contesting a little bit longer, but it looks like we will be switching to the payload portion of the map.
Yeah, a very valiant attempt there from SC White, but I have to say that pulse grenade from Cynico was spaced perfectly. Even though it didn't stick anyone, Matt, it still got so much damage. It forced SC White to split in two, and then, of course, the follow-up kill with it was just the cherry on top. Cynico making some great space here for GLC to cap that point, and Bomber with this Reinhardt, you know, he's been slept, he's been antsy, but he's still been able to hold it down strong. The shatter available, he wants to pop it, and there it is. Lands it perfectly on the two players, forces them back. The Javelin though, Boris is going back in, and it is going to be Cynico though to drop little horde. The damage is being dealt, but the players are falling here. SC White, now the pulse grenade comes out, and again, splits these players in two here from SC White. Still able to hold it down for the moment. Blank Paper does have Bob available and will toss it out to hold it down. GLC, they need to back off a little bit because that Bob does a heavy amount of damage.
Yeah, Bob definitely can make an impact for them there. Keep them in the fight a little bit longer. I like how GLC are playing their angles though, avoiding it. Looks like it will be a bit of damage found again for Boris Johnson, but they're going to be taken out actually. See you later to that one. Now, we do see the point moving forward a little bit longer. Death Blossom is available here for Little Horde. Probably not going to use it yet though. Just look to establish a bit of pressure for their team. TP comes. Ooh, this could be the time. Is it? Oh, there it is. Death Blossom comes out. They find both healers. Cynico actually reacts accordingly though. They find a double up trade. Reaper and Anna are going to go down there. Oh, find more as well. I like this. And they use the point to heal up a little bit. Because if the point's uncontested, you do get some passive healing there. It's like Cynico will eventually go down there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the point to be uncontested there. Cynico recalling to the payload and just able to push it a little bit more into that choke, giving GLC a little bit more space and room to work with as they look to walk it back up. Because they're just waiting for Cynico to group up with them. 4 out of spawn, and the dash They're both Reinhardt's going for the pin, but neither one landing. The Baptiste heal comes out, the lamp comes through, pulse grenade on the backside. Find Needed Whale, that's one healer down. Pyron has found the Ana, and now it is all falling apart here for SC White once again. Both of these pins not quite landing. Little Horde, though, able to group up with Boris. They're able to find back in return, but it's still Cynico being an absolute menace on this payload, just continuing to push it. He's got so much damage into Boris. Just needs to find a few more shots. Little Horde looking to get in there as well, but you don't want to play close range against this Tracer. Such a slippery character to kill. Cynico just able to get out and walk it out like nothing happened.
Yeah, just a little walk on the beach there, you know, just chilling. Ooh, Shatter gets blocked. And the counter Shatter. This is huge from GLC there. Bomber, just absolutely huge reaction. Allows their team to find 3 kills so far. Could be on track for the team wipe. Oh my god. That is fantastic. They use their own force against them. They're able to push it to the next checkpoint on the map. And now they're on the home stretch towards the finish line here. That is huge, Tony.
Yeah, all he had to do was hold up a shield, and Bomber once again playing a sensational game so far here for GLC. I have to say, you know, we've been speaking about Cynico and his heroics on this payload, but Bomber is there when you need him most. You see Little Horde trying to get in this backline, trying to get the damage out. Pyron is right-clicking, doing the DPS job, the secondary here, GLC, and once again, they just find these picks. Fire Strike to find Boris. Little Horde's been taken out once again, and, well, Cynico doing as Cynico does, just getting in the face of SC White, forcing them back to the spawn, and the Moira ult stake out here to weigh a Little Horde once again taken out. They need to stop GLC from pushing, but they're just falling one by one, trickling out as the payload continues to get closer.
Yeah, getting closer and closer here. Oh, the charge comes through again as well. 2 go down. Here it is, Tony. 1 contesting there just as long as they can. See if it's long enough to keep the point going a little longer. No, maybe. Looks like it's going to be stuck there for the time being. So good counter coming out from SC White. Trying their best to keep this point alive as long as possible. GLC Buff Bastion forced onto the reset here. Just trying to see if they can pressure their way in. They've got just a minute to go now. And they desperately need to find it in.
Desperately need to find it in, and there's a high teleport. Cynico swapped off the Tracer, the Riptide to come through here. But it will be forced away, taken out by the Baptiste. Nobody getting hit by that one, but now they have to be cautious. Cynico's up on the high angle, has 40% to that death blossom. Another shadow comes through, not blocked again. Bomber just finding all these shadows. Pyron as well, finding all these kills in the follow-up. And Cynico now in the duel of wits against Little Horde. The Reaper comes out on top. Team kill here for SC White. Able to stop that push as it comes through, and it's only 20 seconds left here for GLC.
GLC really trying their best to push it to the very end here, but it just doesn't seem to be working out for them any longer. The points pushing back as well. Desperately need to find something in these last seconds, otherwise it could be on to the other side of things now. Looks like we are seeing a bit of aggression come through though. Lots of damage there. Little Horde gonna open up though, say goodbye to Reinhardt. The rest could be soon to follow. Ult comes out there from the Moira, trying to keep it going a little bit longer. Cynico rather, out of time there, and it will be Pyron to follow. Last one standing, gonna be Gandalf. Vulnerability rate, gonna be good for a little bit, but not long enough. And it will be the round going the way of SC White there. Successful defense. Now the pressure's going to be on for GLC Buff Bastion to try and hold this one out a little bit longer. Looks like we've got some calls in the chat as well saying their 5th is there. Can they join? Sure, the admins will answer that question momentarily.
We are going to call for a pause to see if we can get that sorted. GLC, a strong push. Of course, as we said, something we thought they'd struggle with in this hybrid map, of course, especially with control being the first point of King's Row. It's about really getting a strong push in, and as you said, Cynico normally used to having that second DPS find some space for him, but was able to make room with what worked, and a strong push for that first half of GLC, considering the circumstances they were in. But SC White able to hold it down there at the end, and I have to say that looks good for them going into this second half. If they're able to hold well, they're able to push probably a little bit better. SC White as well. I have to say, interestingly enough, bringing out that Ana, I saw a Nano come out just for that one kill on to the Ryan, of course. Very, very panicked ultimate, I'd have to say.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that, and I'm keen to see how things do go down as we get back in the game now as well, as it looks like we don't have the 5th player yet, but maybe for the next map we will. So, keen to see how that one goes down there as we do progress our way into the flip of the coin there now. GLC Buff Bastion on defense, SC White on attack. Ooh. Looks like their comps are pretty similar. Cynico on the Bastion. Hello. I see you.
This is an interesting one. Moira Mercy going to come out. Alpaca swapping off the Ana. It's kind of hard to have a huge impact. You have to be really, really clutch on some of those sleeps. Of course, GLC weren't running too heavy of a dive comp. So, you know, the Ana kind of was just a passive healer, set back. A few antis here or there. Could have gone big, but GLC, strong push nevertheless. Cynico going to be playing up on that high ground, pocketed by the lovely Mercy of Gandalf, and actually, never mind. Nope, they're going to drop off the high ground. They're going to play a little bit lower, and Widowmaker here for blank paper, looking to get some shots in. One onto the Ryan early. You need to snipe those healers out. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah. As soon as the opening's there, they desperately need to take down those healers. Looks like already GLC, you've given a bit of ground, but I can respect it because they don't want to be in the line of sight of the Widowmaker there. They're just holding back a little bit, playing from a distance. Oh, good shots already, though, Sitco. Okay, I see you. Little horde going down. 4 versus 4 now. Going to do a bit more damage. Hanzo coming out as well. Good shots to come out from Cynico. They're going to be pulled into the action. Boris Johnson taking a lot of damage here. Needs to get back and quick. Healers luckily keep them alive a little bit longer here. Looks like we do have Bomber trying to push up as well. Not much HP on them there. They go down in a second. Desperately need some support here. Oh no, there it is. They've broken through, Tony.
Oh.
Cynico goes down as well. It's all falling apart here for GLC Buff Bastion. Good to see them contest though. Cynico's back. Good res coming out there from Gandalf. Be able to give them a little bit more leeway, but I don't know how much it's really going to give them, because the point is going to be taken by SC White.
Yeah, SC White, they're a little bit less quickly to take that one. I have to say GLC looked a little bit more comfortable in their approach, but well, we can now see the artillery out here for GLC. Cynico trying to get some damage in, trying to get some shots through. Fortunately, SC White, they're able to back off of that one. The Valkyrie going to be popped here by Gandalf as they look to put the pressure on. It's just going to be damage being dealt here. Cynico and we'll take one out. The grenade yeeted whale out of the mix. GLC with that Valkyrie, they make a stand. They want to hold them in this choke for the moment. They want to stall them as long as possible, but that Hanzo ult, the dragon, forces them out of that choke into a different position. Cynico taking a heavy amount of damage. It's hard to play the Bastion as the frontline player.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult scenario there. Earthshatter is available now for Bomber, though. Might be able to put that one to practice very soon. As soon as they line up around this corner, could be a chance here. They're really pondering on it. I am certain of it. A counter-attack, it could be fantastic here. Their enemies are doing a great job of just pressuring them forward. Whole hog just really pushing them out of place there. And the points almost made it to the next checkpoint, basically for free here.
The artillery, once again, this forces a few of them off of the payload, and snipe out flank paper is taken. Cynico, another on the yeeted whale, getting damage in with his Bastion is great. Boris falls too, and almost a clean sweep there of SC White as Buff Bastion forced to that corridor, Matt, and you didn't think they had the fight to push out?
Yeah, they did a great job maneuvering around all the abilities and ultimates that were brought to their disposal there. And they managed to hold through, not allowing their opponents on the side of SC White to actually pressure the point to the checkpoint there. Definitely impressed, is absolutely sure. But we've got The SC White players now starting to build up their pressure again, are looking to go for the point here. They've got 2 ults as well. Baptiste ultimate, they've got the Death Blossom, there it goes, activated. 1 healer goes down, and it is going to be traded very hastily here. My word, it's going to be traded tenfold, as a matter of fact. Heaps of damage coming out from our GLC buff Bastion side.
Yeah, now you can see artillery mode goes for one.
Unlucky.
He takes out our backer, Cynico. Unlucky. Trying to get Boris maybe as well, but you have to give him credit. GLC buff Bastion. They're going to get this payload not to the checkpoint. If Gandalf can stop and stall it just for a little bit, he's going for a flyback to his team, but in the face of a few players of SC White, I didn't think it was possible. And now they have to give it up. Checkpoint found. The first one gives them an extra 2 minutes on the clock. SC White now can look to push it further than GLC did. And well, for GLC, you need to stay alive. Nobody needs to fall here, but Cynico, it's a little bit greedy for the 1-for-1, and GLC, 2 members down, and they need to stabilize right now.
Yeah, really need to find a way to stabilize here. Eager to see what they manage to do in order to attempt it. So it is going to be a difficult one to be sure here. Looks like they have activated the Baptiste ultimate though. Dragon going to be used as well. Pressure forward. This is huge for the SC White side. Looks like they're absolutely shredding the shield as well. Earth Shatter comes out. Huge stuff coming out there. They do manage to get a lot of damage. Not going to be able to get the kills though. 2 to come through, however. Priron doing a good job on that one. Need to force them back a little bit further. The nano boost keeping Boris Johnson in the game. Does find Cynico. Going to be fighting a trade, however. Cynico back as well on the res. Hook's not going to be able to land. This is huge from GLC buff Bastion, bringing themselves back there because SC White, they got really close.
Bomber, bomber, bomber. Finding these shatters when GLC need it, when they're put on their last back foot. SC White getting scarily close to finalizing those kills and finishing off that point. Cynico close to the pulse grenade, but here comes the whole hog. Full in effect because the shield is down, but stuck little horn is gone. Cynico going deep into the back lines once again. You can never count out this pocket tracer. Getting some big damage into Boris too, taking them low and taking them back towards their spawn side. Is now Cynico is going to be falling back, and you can see Cynico just with that pulse grenade alone forces SC White put their brakes on and of course think about their next course of action.
See if they can and manage to figure a way through this one. Bomber finds blank paper there. That's a good start for them. Try and pressure away these players. They're doing a great job at holding the line so far. See
Pulse
just
grenade.
how long it does last though. Pulse grenade comes through. Little Horde is out of here. Another one bites the dust. See if they can continue to single them out like this. Looks like SC White, they're just pulling back a little bit. Gonna reset. They've got the nano boost available. They've got the artillery as well. And they found Cynico. Good start for them. They're looking to move it up.
Yeah, they can push it up now that the pressure's kind of subsided here. Cynico out of the mix. See? No, an overestimation there. Gandalf caught out the open. And you see the nano up. Boris trying to get it in. Cynico trying to get some damage through. Just trying to get some shots. Both healers are down. Gandalf is flying back in, but it's up to Cynico to do some superhero heroics and will be taken by Alpaca. Gandalf down low, just trying to stall the point, and they can't get on. The push will be finished. SC White will be able to take home Kings Row.
Oh my gosh, what a close game there. It is going to be play of the game to come through. Cynico on the Bastion. Go figure. Cynico going to be hitting some huge shots here. There we go, the grenade comes out. We're into the turret form. Just doing such great work. Look at that tracking there.
Oh my
Really
God.
smooth, honestly. Great play of the game from Cynico there. And we do have 1-for-1 now on the scoreboard here in our best of 5 series. So now GLC are going to have a 5th player, Tony. I think this is a turning point for them because we've seen how well they've played with 4, but now they have an extra set of weapons at their disposal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Of course, now that they've got all full 5, what we see out of Cynico, especially because he showed a flexibility of roles, man. He brought the Bastion out, brought the Reaper in last game, he brought the Tracer full effect this one. And I have to say, if he's going to be rocking the Tracer, I'd hate to see who GLC have got in the background waiting to be brought to the table. Cynico on the Tracer and somebody else just running amok on the damage could be absolutely detrimental. But for SC White, a strong bounce back. They needed that King's Row. They didn't want to give GLC the man advantage and then have the 5th come in just to have the series end in a quick succession. We go 1-1 in this one, Matt. Of course, a very interesting game, though, of a hybrid game mode there. King's Row, of course, a lot harder to, I have to say, push than most maps, but seemingly enough, GLC found a good push in. SC White struggled for a little bit at the end there. That's a worrying point to look at, especially now, of course, that'll be the full 5 here for GLC.
Yeah, definitely is going to be a bit worrying to think about there, Tony. That is for sure. And I'm eager to see exactly how they maneuver around it. And, I'm keen to see what the next map is going to be as well, because I believe our players are just having a bit of a discussion about it now, just thinking, what should we play next? What's the right card here? What's the right call? It's Route 66. No, it's not. Now, we'll see what they do choose heading forward, though. I'm certainly keen to find out, to say the least. Looks like, yeah, we've just got them just pondering their options for now. Oh, looks like we've got the word. It is going to be none other than Junkertown. So keen to see if Junkrat and the Junker Queen and maybe Roadhog bring their way into the Junkertown, heading into our game number 3 here in our best of 5 series. Either team now needs to only win 2 more games in a row, and they will be able to secure a victory here in our best of 5 series, and that will place them into the grand final, where they will be facing none other than, let me just verify there, KSGC Overwatch 1. Definitely keen to see how it all goes down into the grand final, as these 2 teams now are playing for their spot there, which will be played out later today. Looks like we're going to go in a game.
Yeah, we're going into Junkertown, an escort map, Matt. Of course, we get to push the payload to the fullest and see who can do it quicker, or see who can hold it better than their opposition. But Junkertown, Farah's, I imagine, of course, always a important thing to look for. But as well, Junkertown aptly named. You can see some Junkrat, we can see some Junker Queen. We haven't seen it yet, but we've got the full 5 this time for GLC. Buff Bastion. It's going to be Radar here in with the rest of them. Cynico, Bomber, Byron, and Gandalf. I have to say, some very unfortunate, I feel, missteps there from Gandalf in that last game on the Mercy. The comp is in. The positions have been locked through. It's Ash Bastion here for SCY. It's Genji Widowmaker here for GLC. Buff Bastion and the Lucio being brought to the table this time.
Love to see it. Apparently there's some word in the chat that the 5th player is Cynico's rival. So we'll see how things go down there. A bit of a friendly rivalry, friendly banter. Never hurt anybody, We are going to be getting a sub on SC White as well. Adventurer coming in hot. Going to be playing the Doom Fist. Keen to see if they can use that fist to knock someone off the map there, Tony.
Yeah, the Doom Fist being, well, really the only tank here for SC White. It's a little bit of an interesting one. Radar, I'm going to go for some snipes, but you can see that there's so many scattered fights going on for the moment. And Cynico just trying to get in the mix. Radar finally able to find a little horde, getting caught out. Blank paper taken by Bomber on this Orisa, and Cynico again to find another support. Picking apart GLC. It felt like such a scattered take to start that one off. GLC looked a little bit all out of sorts, especially with the coordination now bringing in their 5th adventurer. He's going to get some shots off on the height, trying to find one of these players. Of course, he needs to get back. There's nobody else here for GLC, for SC White to help him out, but we'll be able to find Cynico. Radar, being uncontested for the moment, just firing off shot after shot, trying to flick ahead. He needs to get back now to safety, but that cart has been pushed to contention. SC White with a huge anti-grenade down from Gandalf. aren't going to be too healthy for the moment. This Lucio just in the face, eats it up himself, and Adventurer just trying to split them thin.
Yeah, see if they can divide and conquer there. See how successful they are going to be, though. Looks like there is going to be a lot of damage to come through thus far. Adventurer is holding strong. Ooh, that could have been good. Not quite yet, though. Radar going to be able to find Little Horde. Good start for the GLC buff Bastion side there. Cynico also joining in on the fun. The trade coming out on the Bomber, though. No tank, no problem. Ooh, goodbye to that Bastion. Blank Paper going to be out of here. And it will be the first checkpoint collected by GLC buff Bastion.
You can see, look who's entering my domain. It is GLC. Tapping the point, get an extra few minutes on the clock too, and we're going to get aggressive with it. Cynico getting some aggressive peeking there. So is Radar onto the Shazorn instead of the Widowmaker. Kind of harder to play Widow in this position, especially when you're trying to get so much space and so much more damage out. And your Arista here from Bomber, I have to say, swapped off artillery mode. Radar is just going to take out Blank Paper. That's not where you want to pop the artillery mode. Not out in the open and not in the face of GLC. Dragon Blade goes huge for 2, and now it's all of a sudden Adventurer left again to hold it down as GLC just do a clean wipe of that one.
Clean and simple there. And looking to do more with it as well. Looks like the Meteor Strike going to be coming through here from Doomfist. Get behind them, try and do a bit of damage. Gandalf going to be able to find Boris Johnston, though. Adventurer going out as well, and it will be the second checkpoint now collected by GLC buff Bastion. Seems they've really powered up in this one, Tony.
Yeah, it's interesting because Radar having that second damage dealer in the mix for GLC just allows them to spread SC thinner in these team fights. Of course, a lot more damage being dealt in these positions mean a lot more in a few of these fights, especially for the healers who can't afford to get picked off with so much more being put to the table. You can see the wall being put up by Little Horde, trying to get some more damage out, trying to get his players up and healthy. But now you can see power and the overwhelming nature. Bomber's just walking in front of 4 players and not being taken out. He's able to block and stoke so much damage. GLC is able to capitalize off it. Boris taken immediately by Radar. And you can see Little Horde now Packer forced all the way back. Cynico diving deep into enemy lines. Huge ants takes them. And clean sweep once again. GLC looking unstoppable.
Absolutely unstoppable here. Great stuff coming out from all of them. Alpaca now looking to get forward though. Boris Johnson brings out the Dragon Blade there, trying to tear through some players. Not going to find any kills yet. Radar actually getting them out. Alpaca Blade going to be on the point. It might be having to nano one of their teammates to keep them in this one. But it looks like GLC buff Bastion find the timing, take them out one after the other. And that is going to be objective taken. And they've managed to push through the first round with flying colors. SC White now, huge pressure on them. They are going to have a time limit and they need to deliver greatness.
3 minutes 40 left of that clock, Matt. GLC, stunning work there. You saw huge antis come out there from GLC. You saw just Bomber soaking so much damage. And keen to see the statistic at the end of this one.
That's a lot of money, Tony.
That's a lot of that's a lot of coin.
Call Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs, that's a lot of money there. You can make a Krusty Krab 2, Krusty Krab 3 even.
Krusty Krab 3000.
Krusty Krab 3000, but back to my point. Bomber soaking so much damage, allowing so much space to be taken by the rest of GLC. We can now see a different composition. It's the Zenyatta, Torb, and the Soldier.
Ooh, looks like Baptiste is going to come back into the fold as well. Definitely very different, and I like it on the defensive side of things. Cynico going to have a lot of potential around those turrets, considering that the Orisa on Bomber there going to be able to hold down the front lines really effectively for them. I'm curious how SC White will try and break through there, because, you know, we've got Blank Paper on the Sojourn, we've got Boris Johnson on the Bastion, Little Horde on Baptiste there, Alpaca Blade on Anna, and Adventurer now switching out to the Roadhog. So definitely leaves room for curiosity, to say the least. Looks like they're already starting off strong though. GLC going to be playing the high ground slightly. Ooh, huge damage coming out though from Blank Paper. find the turret, and a kill comes through as well. Byron's out of here. They're definitely making a statement early on here, Tony.
Well, there's a turret there on top of Boris, and he goes turret mode himself, takes out Cynico, Bomber, and he gets the final on again.
Play of the game.
Absolutely huge there. Potential for play of the game, absolutely. Boris taking apart 3 GLC members, and you can see an immediate swap up. Reinhardt, Lucio, and Cynico to the Tracer.
Absolutely. Huge stuff coming out from them there on the SC White side. DLC.
Oh.
Good reaction though, but it looks like Adventurer does find Cynico, not able to slip behind them on that Tracer there. And they will find the first checkpoint nice and quickly. Definitely looking very nostalgic of the last push that came out from GLC. Good pressure comes out from Bomber though. They charge into it. Adventurer's gone. Say goodbye to your tank. Sojourn follow up as well. See how they do manage to clear things out here. If they can stagger the respawns, this might work out a little bit more effective for them. Boris Johnson is out of here. So say goodbye to Bastion. That was a big problem that they had, and they've now put the point into a standstill a little longer.
Yeah, they might be able to hold them in the spawn there, because they spawn just outside here, the gates, and, well, for the moment, GLC, they've got a strong position here. Got you my sights, the tactical visor coming through, and Matt Rador is swinging huge. He's swinging for the fence. There's 2 players down, Blank Paper and Little Horde, and I have to say, Matt, since Rador coming in to the GLC side, he's been an unsung hero. There's a few picks that have gone his way. It hasn't just been Cynico doing all the heavy lifting. Rador definitely hitting mark here in this next one. SCY are able to take a little bit of space though. GLC, they are forced back, play a little bit safer than Nano into the whole hole, trying to get the damage out, but the Lucio ultimate, as they break down the sound barriers and they break it down by piece, and a huge shatter once again. Bomber going massive.
Major impact coming out of that Earth Shatter there. Find them all lined up, and we'll be able to knock them down dead. Definitely great to see them comboing their abilities effectively there. And it looks like, as some have pointed out, Cynico's healthy rivalry definitely bringing out the best in them. So they are really trying their best to play the best games of Overwatch they possibly can here, Tony. But there's still plenty more action. And it looks like Boris Johnston has found a Raider.
He definitely has found a Rador, but Bomber, he's found Blank Paper getting picked apart. It's not something you want to see from your DPS. Just now, Alpaca to take it out. Cynico's in his back line. Little Horde as well, not one you want to see get taken out. Boris get some damage off with this Hanzo. They are able to slowly push this one, and GLC, they are forced back for the moment. Gandalf and Pyron playing on the low ground. They probably want to be up with their tank. They probably want to be up with their DPS. Taking high ground and stopping this push from coming through for the moment. You see the lamp being put out. The Dragon is available here for Boris. And it's just how you position it and how this push comes through.
Good kills coming out on both sides though. Ryan goes down and will be traded right from Ryan. It looks like the visor comes out as well. Finding so many kills there for Raider. Coming out with a bit of style as well. Bringing the emote. Love that. Imagine that ends up being play of the game. That would be pretty awesome to say the least.
It's a freebie.
Style points.
It's a freebie play of the game. It's you pop tack and it's just where the stars align and they all just absolutely get shredded. Not even a nano needed, just so much damage being output by Radar on that tactical visor, and well, nobody dealing with it. It's hard to deal with that soldier if you don't have a tank to stop it, or you don't have an Ana dart to sleep that. Radar, a headshot taken out, Blank Paper, but Boris back on a 6. Cynico, but Radar is still up on this height and still wreaking havoc here. Gandalf too getting in the mix. Support v support. Radar takes that Little Horde, and well, you still see Gandalf fighting the good fight. Now kind of getting pinned against the wall here. Adventure's just swinging. SC White though, still have to deal with Cynico. Pulse grenade, he's stuck onto Alpaca and he's still in the back line. Cynico stalls it for the rest of GLC to come back alive and ready to push this point contested.
The beat looks to have been dropped potentially there as well. Looks like we do have Pyron going out, however. Good to see they've established a bit of a front line here. Going to do what they can to keep the point active. Little Horde and Blank Paper now going to be shut down though. Just over a minute to go here for SC White. See if they can manage to keep themselves present as well. As it looks like the GLC Buff Bastion side doing a great job at just holding them off for the moment.
Say, you know, he's been speaking about Radar, but Cynico's like, what about me? I'm still here. I'm still ready to do some big damage. Huge shatter, though, in from Adventurer, but it doesn't land anything here. Adventurer is able to dash, but the Death Blossom comes through, but Radar comes back. Double up on top of the Dragon. Huge damage being dealt by both sides, but in the end of things, it's a team wipe. GLC hold it down from Radar.
Gosh. Those tactical visors are just making waves, Tony. Just huge stuff coming out there from GLC again. 10 seconds remain now. SC White need to get on the point, otherwise this is going to be the map going the way of GLC. Buff Bastion, they'll take the lead here. SC White cannot afford that. Nico ready, contesting the point. There it goes, bomb goes out, not getting a kill this time. Charge comes out, picks up Doomfist. Trying their best to keep them off the point there. Already getting kill after kill. It's all going to be up to Boris Johnson now. Contest the point on that Tracer. Keep teleporting around, but they are going to get shut down eventually. And it will be GLC Buff Bastion taking away the game there. And they now get placed up 2-1 in this best of 5 series. Play of the game on its way, Tony. And Gandalf was eating breakfast.
Yep, it's Radar. Who would have thought? One tack after the other. Imagine it's the first one we saw. Yeah, here it is. It's the first one where our Packer stops the sleep from happening. Oh, it's the second one. No, yeah, the Death Blossom came through, but the lock, so hard to deal with there. If you don't have that Anna sleep, huge capitalization of the kills there from Radar. Taking out the Anna and clean sweeping the fight from there. Death Blossom, though, I have to say, could have been the game changer there. That could have been the fight won by SC White, and that could have been the point pushed for an extra 2 minutes.
Absolutely, and that could have been maybe what saved them there. So really great to see for GLC Buff Bastion. They do find that last second kill. It turns the tide, and it's going to take the game for them. Great stuff coming out from them, but they need to win one more if they want to get their place in the grand final, whereas their opponent needs to win 2 in a row. So we'll see which of these two teams will be able to take it on top of this one, as we are just waiting on our map pick here for what could be our second last or maybe our last map, depending on which team comes out on top here into this first series of the day. We'll call it a semi-final into the grand final coming up after this one. And their opponents are going to be eagerly waiting for them, I'm sure. I'm sure that maybe, you know, some of the players on the other side of things, the KGSC Overwatch 1 side of things, are going to be looking eagerly at how these players are playing and try and figure out some ways to counter them heading into our grand final. But I'm certainly eager to see how the rest of this series will go as well, because as some people have pointed out, Tony, it looks like that 5th player really has brought up the spirits of the Buff Bastion side of things.
Yeah, the Buff Bastion side of things, firing on all cylinders, I have to say. GLC looking absolutely great there. Cynico, you know, it was up to him really in those first 2 games to kind of keep his team on high hopes, keep them in high spirits while they waited for Radar to come through. And then you see just the absolute difference maker Radar was in that last game, just finding so much space there, finding a few picks here or there in some of those team fights, just allowing GLC to clean sweep on that attack side. Then they go to the defense. It looks a little bit rough to start it off. Then they shake up the comp a little bit. They swap back to picks that they know work best. And Radar, again, just finding so much space, finding so much room to punish those SC White players, taking out the supports first and just steamrolling from there. Absolutely huge game there from GLC, and I'm worried now for SC White going into this 4th.
Looks like we've got the next map locked in as Esperanza, if I'm not mistaken, so definitely keen to see how things go down on to that one as our players get prepared for battle now, Tony. And I'm sure that they are going to be very excited as to what's to come, considering, you know, they're in term 4 at the moment. It's at the peak of the year for the high school term. and I'm sure that they are keen to pressure their way through this season, and they're at the peak right now, right at the summit. And we'll see who will be able to come out on top here. Definitely eager to see how things go down, but I'm feeling like maybe some of the picks might change a little bit as well heading into this map. Maybe we could see a bit more diversity. Maybe the Pharaoh Mercy pick to come out again, Tony. Like, there's definitely room for possibilities here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see maybe the Pharaoh Mercy for SCY. It wasn't too bad on that first map. Of course, they were able to really punish, I guess, some missteppings there from the side of GLC. And of course, we saw a lot of misstepping from Gandalf. So maybe they look to punish that as we go into game number 4, especially with, the potential comp of the Pharaoh Mercy. But maybe we see a little bit more dive. Could look to bring in, the Diva, the Genji, and just get in the face of the side of GLC. Who knows?
We'll see how it all goes down. It looks like we are going to be into game now. So, lovely to see. Looks like we've got our players prepared on the map now. Get to take in a bit of the scenery as well. Do you want to live there, Tony?
Yeah, looks great. Blue skies, good weather, good views. What more could you want? Nice little beach down there too. Anything you want, man.
Yeah, anything you want, mate. Love to see it. Who knows? Maybe I'll knock you in the water. Go for a bit of a swim.
Ooh, and going for a bit of a swim, went diving into these picks. Bomber onto the Winston mat. We thought we'd see a little bit more dive out of SC White. That's GLC. Bring out the Winston.
I am keen. I'm very keen. I'm definitely loving a bit of the chat as well, Tony. It looks like there's a bit of love for you there, maybe. I don't know. But we're in game now. We've got Bomber looking to rush their way straight over to the robot. Good to see that they are leaping forward there for their team. Got the shield ready as well. Put the bubble down if they need it. Boris Johnson going to be ready and landing as well on the Orisa. Good damage to come out from a GLC so far. Boris Johnson going to have all the Discord as well. See you later. 2-for-1 special res to come out as well on the GLC side of things. So a heavy amount of pressure already brought to the table here. And they're pushing the bot.
Yeah, they're already giving the bot I'll wake up. Come on, son. Get the wall. I guess it's a wall. It's a suitcase. Who knows what's inside of that thing? But GLC inside the heads of SC White, Matt. With this Winston pick just straight in the face, especially with the combo of the Zen, you're able to heal up your Winston if he gets a little bit too antsy. Boris has swapped to the Orisa, trying to soak in this damage. He's getting a bit here and is going to be pushing it forward. And he's going to be taken out immediately. The Discord Orb from Pyron and too much damage output here from GLC. And continuing to push on through GLC. They've got them scattered here. And, it's SCY, the Pick the Reaper. They've got the counterpiece against the Winston, but it doesn't seem to matter with how well spaced GLC are firing together. Radar to take out our pack here, and GLC continuing to push this bot.
Yeah, continuing to push it forward, and it seems like there's no answers for it at the moment. Definitely doing a good job so far on the GLC Buff Bastion side. SC White need to find an answer and need to find it quickly. I feel like the Bastion definitely could be good for them, but in the same token, they need to make sure that they isolate these players with it. Otherwise, it may find no use at all. Looks like we are seeing a charge. Oh, doesn't catch the Zenyatta there on Prior. Tactical Visor as well coming out now. Cynico looking to have their turn at the Soldier now. Almost getting the last kill there. Okay, so John. Bit slippery there. They do get it in the end, though.
Yeah, it's interesting that, of course, they're swapping it back up. Boris now to the Tank Adventurer, back to the DPS, and full side of SC White, they're really struggling. They're sending it in with only 2 players. They probably don't want to do that. They have found the pin. They have found the shatter. Huge one from Boris. Take a few players down to the floor, render them absolutely useless in this next fight. Radar trying to find some big damage in, but of course now Gandalf caught out. It's an unfortunate situation you've been put in as the Mercy. We'll be able to fly to safety. GLC, they just want to back off, but they've been both taken by Boris swinging that hammer huge. SC White finally find the fight they need.
And it's a good time for it as well. They need to find some way to pressure the bot back, get control of it there. Otherwise, they could be in for a very uncomfortable situation, to say the least. But at long last, they do get a bit of ground there. Bastion now looking to establish pressure forward for them as well. Good start thus far. We'll see just how long they can last, however. Oh no, here it comes. We are going to see the overdrive come through there. Sojourn looking to do a light. Cynico actually going to be the one to find impact, however. Good start for GLC buff Bastion. Looks like we will find Radar to take down the invulnerability field there. And here comes. They're going absolutely ape crazy at the moment. Going to just take these players off the point so then the bot can go down again.
Oh, the shatter.
Earth Shatter's good though. Finds 3 so far. Looking for 4. Could get close to it. Charge comes out, hits nobody. And they're doing a great job at keeping it alive for the minute.
Oh my god, Gandalf's just keeping his teammate alive. Bomber struggling for life there at the end, but the gun's pulled out. Gandalf looking to fight it. Boris once again. And I'm curious to know how many eliminations Boris is now getting up to. There's some double shatters, back-to-back huge ones here for SC White to stop the push, but still 5 minutes to work with on the clock. GLC, they've got so much time, and they've got such a far push too. The tactical buys once again. This time it's Cynico on Soldier, looking to pop up from the high ground just to get some damage in, threaten these players off. And now the tactical visor has been popped, trying to snipe out these supports, but has been earned on his head. Adventurer, the quick little flick of wits. Cynico's taken, and SC White looking to win this one out, but none of Bombers had anything to say about it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a tough one thus far, Tony, but we'll see if they have a few more things to say about it heading forward. They do have the point at a bit of a standstill at the moment. The bot not going to be making any movements until one team manages to win this tug of war here. Raider managing to find the kill on the blank paper there. Good to single out one of the healers. Little Horde going to be found as well now. Looks like Raider is on the hunt here, trying to find Adventurer as well. The Battle of the Sojourns there. The Raz is on its way as well. Byron back in action here. Now trying to isolate this Reinhardt, and they do find success. Goodbye to Baptiste as well, and for invulnerability, Ray going to keep them alive a little longer, not for too much longer, and it will be the isolation found for GLC buff Bastion as they look to take the high ground again.
And I have to say, it's I guess a very hard situation to push against those disruptor shots there from Radar. And now Cynico, what about Tracer for a minute? Now he's going to be on the Widowmaker. Tactical visor has been popped. Little Horde not quite finding anything right now. He's put out of commission by Radar. Here comes the Transcendence. They shove it onto Boris, who's caught out alone. Caught in the back lines here as Moira also trying to follow suit. Blank Paper trying to follow his tank, try to keep him healthy, try to keep him alive, but the Zenyatta Discord Orb had so much damage coming out of GLC. Congestion, Bomber puts down the ultimate, puts down the spears, soaking so much of SC White's frontline damage. See, with another snipe here from Cynico, looking for a second Adventurer pop and take it out, make it a third. Little Horde line up the kill feed. It's Cynico onto the Widow.
Cynico show back in action here. We've seen him on that Widow before, and we are seeing it again right now. Just tearing through the enemy lines there, allowing their team to pressure on in once again now. Looks like Boris will be holding the front line again. Alpaca Blade going to be taken out there. Ooh, Cynico almost getting another one. Does have the ultimate available as well if they want to reveal some enemy locations. There we go. They spot them all. Damage coming out onto the Soldier. Oh, they're almost out of here. Healing Orb does a little bit, but not enough to keep him alive. Raider joining in as well. This is a bloodbath here, Tony. Boris Johnson trying to stay alive, but the healers have all been singled out here. Boris just forcing themselves in with sheer willpower. And it looks like the invulnerability ray comes in clutch. Baptiste is back, but Boris is not back for long. Alpaca Blade's out of it as well. Here we go again. Contest coming out here from SC White, desperately trying to keep this point alive with Adventurer, but no, it won't happen. They're pushing up again, getting every which kill, and Blank Paper is out of here. They keep it strong.
What's the front line to GLC? It doesn't matter. Matt, Radar, and Cynico getting behind enemy lines and picking them off. Now SC White, this is their last hold here, Matt. GLC on the brink of greatness. Cynico to start it off. Little Horde is going to be taken out. The Pharaoh rate of pin attempt here by Boris. Move back. Is forced to the safety of his healers, but here comes the Lucio. Break it down. The sound barriers are gone. An Adventurer almost getting sniped out. He picked Genji to counter the Widow, not to get absolutely blown apart. Radar finds it. A Maywall to try and stop it, but GLC Buff Bastion are going to be taking it home on Esperanto.
And that's going to put them in to the grand final, Tony. We are in to the play of the game. Boris actually going to be the one to take it this time. Shout out to Boris there. Let's see what they did. I reckon there's an Earth Channel in their future. There it is. Yeah, this was such a big impact. I was really impressed with the amount of kills they managed to get off that one. And it will be the game taken by none other than GLC Buff Bastion there. So fantastic series. And they are now going to be met by KGSC Overwatch 1 into the grand final. So everybody, great series. And while we get the grand final set up, we are going to head to a short break. We will see you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the AL High School League. Term 4 here for Overwatch 2. Matzy and Tony coming through once again. And we are in to the grand final, Tony. Here we go. GLC Buff Bastion coming up against none other than just kidding. Coming up against KGSC Overwatch 1 here in the grand final. I am so excited to see how things are going to go down because KGSC played really, really well last week. They were a very dominant team, absolutely. And now coming up against Buff Bastion, I feel like they're going to have a run for their money. Like, it's going to be a tough one for both sides. And I am very, very keen to see how it's all going to go down. But, Tony, what's our first map?
It's going to be none other than the one to kick it off last game. It's Oasis for our first one. Little bit of control for both these teams, of course. Matt, I feel very much a Clash of Titans here, as you said, of course. We just saw GLC and, potential warm-up buff, of course, having played that first series already. And, having to play at 4v5, not the greatest way to start, but then you saw as soon as the 5th was implemented, as soon as Radar came into it, they were firing on all cylinders. GLC looked absolutely insane. But, of course, the team that already qualified for the grand finals, it was KGSC Overwatch 1, and we've got some new faces to me, Matt, some familiar ones to you, and of course it is going to be a familiar map to start it off. It's Oasis here, control a best of 3, and it's going to be an interesting composition here for KGSC, hovering a few interesting things. The Torb is not something we were expected to see.
No, absolutely not, but welcome it in to the fold. Absolutely there. We'll see how things do go down now, though, as we get into the action. Oh, they're keen to get out. You can tell. Guns bursting through there, and here we go. Actually going around the outside this time. We'll see how things go for them there. Looks like both teams pondering that option. Eager to see how Winston goes here. They dive straight in, getting a little bit of damage, and vulnerability ray available as well. Hooks to come out. Swagger going to be able to take it down. Invulnerability ray though. Looks like they are going to find kill after kill here. Fantastic coordination coming out there. Bomber does find the counterattack on a Swagger though, but it is going to be KGSC Overwatch 1 taking control here.
And to break that down, if you missed it, a huge antsy, a dash into a dash into a dash. You just get the reset so easily. The player's that low, Matt. Swagger, easily a quick play of the game to start that one off, and a quick cap for KGSC. You can see why they are one of the favorites here and already qualified for the grand final. Of course, Fish Girl playing a little bit more passive on this Winston. Not what I was expecting. You see, though, Swagger definitely getting in the mix, throwing out some shurikens, backing off, using the full capacity of that Zen Orb heal, because you don't have to stick on top of your team. Cynico, getting into an aggressive position. Fish Girl, though, diving the backline, taking out the healers, and again, Swagger with a triple, and KGSC hold down the point like it's nothing.
Yeah, very powerful approach coming forward, Tony. Eager to see how things end up for them as well, heading in to the rest of this one, as KGSC have established a great amount of pressure heading in to this one here. But TwoTapTony, there's still plenty of time in this game, and it looks like GLC have opted for a bit of a change-up as well. They've got the Kiriko coming out now, as well as the Reaper there. Eager to see how this one works out for them. Looks like Metho's turrets are doing a great job there, managing to really hold them off as long as possible. Right click comes out as well from What a Hassle. See if they can find more. Dragon Blade comes out though. Here they go. Swagger looking to just slice through them like sushi. Do find one there. Gandalf's down with Byron. Raider at least getting the counter back on a Fish Girl there. So they got no tank anymore for KGSC. Could be the opening they need, but Nano Boost comes out. What a Hassle takes out Bomber there. See you later to the Reinhardt. And now it's going to be the pressure continuing to go in favor of KGSC. The beat gets dropped there for Buff Bastion. They're contesting as much as they can, but if they lose out this right here, that's just going to be round 1. Over and out.
Now they got rid of the Torb. Molten Core comes in. And Dragon Blade to come through. The Death Blossom from Cynico trying to get something happening. But Swagger's still dashing about on top of the entire KGC side. There's nothing they can do. It's a team kill to end. GLC fall to the wayside, Matt. I was not expecting that start. Swagger and the coordination out of KGC was just too much for GLC to deal with.
Yeah, it was just really dominant approach coming through from KGSC there. Honestly, Tony, really impressed with how they managed to find a solid foundation on it to the point so far, and eager to see just how far they can take it going forward from here as well. So it looks to be both teams are preparing themselves. Orisa going to be picked out by Bomber now, hoping to see what they can do with it. And it looks like KGSC going to stay consistent here. Look to do what they can in it. It's round 2 of this first game here. Looks like Fish Girl already angry, breaking the glass there, trying to prepare for their enemies. It looks like GLC will be first on point as KGSC play the outside just towards the edge there, but they may get in their face very, very quickly.
And it's so interesting to see KGSC kind of playing a very split style composition. You've got the Torb putting out so much pressure, and then you've just got Fish Girl diving onto the 4 members and still staying alive, pocketed by the healers so perfectly. Zenyatta and Ana just putting out heals you see normally from the likes of a Mercy Moira. GLC, they have taken towards the point, they have capped it. The KGSC, they're just on the outside waiting to knock down the door.
Here they go, Tony. Getting on to the point again. Raider going to be able to take out Swagger there. Grand start, finds another one on to the Cassidy there. And we will see plenty of kills come out for GLC here as they continue to build up their foundation onto the point. Oh my word. We do have none other than the one and only Raider doing so much work there. And it's grand to see just how far they are going to take it as they build up percentage more and more here.
And you can see GLC getting to that 50% mark, halfway to capping and taking this first map. But of course, still see the KGSC with swap-ups might be looking to implement something different. Fish Girl taking out Gandalf. Swagger now towards Sean, getting up the full charge with the railgun, and here comes Fish Girl. Nanoed up fully 70% on the charge with shield, and nothing GLC can do against so much damage coming out the high noon from the backline. Radar tries to get behind him, tries to get something happening with KGC. They found their foot, they found their room to work with. And Swagger, a nice little style kill to take Radar, sent back to spawn and capped by GLC.
Yes, it will be KGSC to bring it back now. Getting some percentage of their own cultivated here. See how GLC react to this one. They've got the Zarya in action this time. Kiriko going to be building up the ultimate as well. Looking to bring the Fox out at a moment's notice. What a hassle is actually going to be taken out. Kitsune comes out there. Looking to see what they can do, but GLC, they find it again. The Kitsune doing a lot of work for Kiriko there. They find a lot of damage. Stick comes out on a Fish Girl. Not going to do much with it, however. It looks like a turret goes out as well. Swagger looking to get back in action. Do take out Raider. Looking for the Kiriko now as well. They find it. Oh, this is a massive turn of events. Team kill comes out just before the end of the percentage as well. And KGSC, they hold on.
And Matt, I tell you what, if that was old Cassidy with the stun grenade, Radar won that. I feel Swagger probably got super lucky that there's no stun grenade now present, but GLC so scattered with that approach. And again, Tribe though with this Torb has been a bit of an unsung hero, but the death force just sent directly into 2 players, only takes out the likes of Swagger. Tribe though with this Torb, I have to say, has been an unsung hero, as I was just about to mention. The kick, the melee off, Bomber falls out of the map, and KGSC hold that one. Okay.
Okay. Yes, it's always interesting in the games of Overwatch 2, isn't it, Tony? But it will be KGSC holding on for now, playing the outside of the point again. I like to see how they don't hold direct contest. They hold the outside when they need to, deal damage from afar, and then they can manage to contest should the need arise. But here comes Cynico. The Menace is back on the Tracer there. Bomber going to hold the front lines on the Zarya. Do a lot of work with the shield there. Both of them building up a lot of damage percentage, I'm sure. Very amplified there onto 100%. Grab could be in order. Baptiste finding the kill on Cynico there. Good trade coming out from Raider, finding the invulnerability rate. No kills so far though, but could be soon in order. Raider does find Fish Girl. Good start coming out here. What a hassle, finds one. High Noon comes out as well, not finding much. Raider does take out Metho though. Good start. Good trades coming out again. It's all going to be on overtime here. Somebody needs to take control at this point. GLC so close to getting ahead, but no, not able to do it just yet. It's all just going one way or another. Wrecking Ball gets on the point. They're swinging through, Tony. This one's going down to the wire.
Yeah, that was up to A-Hip, and what's the hassle to get in and hold that point to allow the rest of the team to come through with the burning core, swagger through, and all of a sudden KGSC barrel through with the hamster. They send it in with the molten lava. They come through with a fire to take map number 1. Matt GLC, they made that one close though. Try me though. Gonna be picking up the play with Torb. I imagine there was some huge molten cores from him in this game.
Absolutely. The Torbjorn finding a lot of practical use case there into both rounds of the game here. And KGSC going to be able to find map number 1 in their favor there. Game 1 in this best of 5 series. Off to a cracking start, Tony.
I had to say a bit of an unfortunate circumstance for GLC. They had that early 95%. They just had to cap it one more time. Win one more fight, it would have been over. GLC could have taken map number 1 there, but KGSC dominant start. 2-0 there on that first map of control there on Oasis. And that first one, I have to say, the coordination that we saw from the abilities there from KGSC, we saw such implementation of the Zenyatta that we haven't quite seen yet. We've seen a lot of Moira Mercy. We've seen even the Baptiste come to play, but that Zenyatta was something special. And of course, KGSC using those Discord orbs, using the, of course, the Harmony orbs as well, with Swagger being so omnipresent about the map. KGSC looked absolutely in form and in tune with one another that first one.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more there, Tony. Definitely in sync pretty much all throughout there, and eager to see if they can manage to hold the endurance through all the way into the rest of the series as well, or whether we do see GLC make a bit of a comeback, because we saw that they had the potential into that last round there. They did some really great work getting to as high percentage as they did. I think it was about 95, 96. One more tick could have pushed them over the edge there, and we could have seen perhaps game 1 go their way instead. But ultimately, KGSC hold strong. I think the Wrecking Ball was a really impactful pick, especially towards the end there, getting onto the point as quickly as they did, allowing them to just have that pressure, to just maneuver around the point, pressure them off there. Huge stuff coming out there from a KGSC. But, you know, there's always map 2. We've got game 2 on its way very soon. I'm not sure if it's the same map as last time or whether it is going to be a bit different, but eager for whatever comes up nonetheless, Tony.
Yeah, and I have to really break it down to that kind of final hold there from KGSC. It got to 95%, of course, as we saw from the side of GLC, but the 2 healers were able to hold that point for so long, allow the Wrecking Ball to come through, swing in, and all of a sudden, KGSC were able to play like they hadn't even lost that last fight. They had both the healers stay up and stay alive, and we're getting King's Row for our second map. So bit of a mirror so far in this series as it was in the first, but GLC, they were the ones to take map number 1 in the last series, 4v5. Of course, they're now full 5, and they need to come in strong here. King's Row looked good for them in their last series, but KGSC, they're looking very, very hot right now. GLC, we need a strong bounce back from them.
Absolutely, we need to find that potential be tapped into there, because otherwise we could see KGSC just continue to dominate the show here. They had a really grand start on to the first round in particular there, where they were able to basically completely pressure GLC off the points there. Torbjorn making a massive impact with the turrets, just so much work being done there. And I'm eager to see I guess how things progress as we do head towards King's Row as well, whether we do see things go the similar way, whether there is going to be a different scale of things. Because I believe we do have a bit of a player substitution to come out from one of our rosters into this second game as well. So keen to see who's, I guess, going to be subbed out and for what side. Because, yeah, I feel like that player substitution could make a bit of an impact there. You know, maybe they go whole hog, manage to bring out their real potential. You know, who knows, Tony?
I definitely say one player I was very impressed to start that one off, of course, from the KGSC side, because I hadn't actually seen them yet, was Swagger. That Genji was absolutely picture perfect. I had to say those first 3 fights on that first point on Oasis were just textbook Genji as it comes. You just AEDT came out, a few players half HP, dash dash dash. All of a sudden it's a 4 kill. All of a sudden it's a team wipe. All of a sudden you've got yourself 50% just like that.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed with them as well and how well they were able to function for their team. Like Swagger was always up in their face, doing a great job at shutting down the tanks, shutting down pretty much everyone on the GLC side there. So GLC are going to have to find a way to adapt around this pressure that they're being faced with because they're not giving them respect. They're just going to try and do whatever it takes to go for the win there. And GLC definitely need to show that they are a force to be reckoned with as well, and they mean business, as obviously we do get things set up on King's Row. Now, speaking of King's Row, we saw GLC play that map out last time. I believe they came close to winning, but did ultimately lose, in part, obviously playing a 4v5 on that one, but now they've got the full Squirtle squad. Now they're looking to see what they can manage with their full squadron. I definitely see a lot of potential for the Widowmaker to come out from them here. But in the same right, considering the play style of KGSC there, ooh, it's going to be a bit of a tough one, Tony. I'm honestly scared to think how those fights will go down, considering how tight they are going to be pretty much all the way through there into King's Row.
Well, from what we've seen, I guess to say GLC, a huge team of momentum. If they get a good fight going, they're looking very focused. They're looking to prioritize the right targets and really win the fights out from there. And that's what we saw a little bit on King's Row, of course, on their attacking side. And then the defense, it just looked a little bit worrying, to say the least. Of course, they got sent into that corridor where they were able to fight their way out of it. But, SC White really, really gave them a run for their money. And it came down to those last few clutch moments. And especially it came to that last clutch moment there on Oasis. GLC just not quite able to capitalize. So maybe a little bit of a worrying issue to think about going into a map such as King's Row, where you can get such a great attack lead, but it's about closing it out from there. And GLC, definitely, they know how to close it out. It's just about how they can really, really exploit the weaknesses of KGSC. And for KGSC, there's very many more weaknesses being shown at the moment.
Yeah, they're basically unbreakable. It's like an iron defense, the iron wall defense, Definitely eager to see how things do go down, though, whether they do find a crack in the armor. Because, it's like your favorite anime Haikyuu, Tony. There's always going to be a crack in the armor that can be found there. And we'll see if they do manage to find it heading into this next map here. But obviously, just waiting on that one last player to get into the server at the moment. Hopefully, they should be there in due course. But, Tony, there's one thing we haven't touched on today, and that's Ramatra, the new hero incoming. How are you feeling about that? The new tank on its way, mate.
I feel it might shake up the meta a little bit. Of course, we've seen a lot of these shield tanks be very, very prevalent. Of course, I thought Winston was a little bit on the weaker side going into these series today, but we've seen a lot of Winston really kind of be a pocket pick for a few of these tank players, and especially when it comes to the push maps with the robot. Of course, you can really go for a dive heavy comp, and it just seems to work a lot better than some would expect. But Winston, when it comes to a few of these other maps, it's a little bit on the weaker side. So a new tank always a welcome change, and it might swap up a few of these different compositions that have been very very reliant on heavy output DPS.
Yeah, I was thinking a bit the same as well, honestly. I'm curious, I guess, how powerful the new hero is going to be when it does first get released as well, because, the trend with some games, the new character obviously going to be a bit powerful when they first release, to say the least. But eager to see if there's going to be any tweaks to come out post-release there, and how it functions, I guess, in the whole grand scale of things as well, whether it is going to be a more tank-centric comp could come out or more. But speaking of comps, we're in game. Here we go again, Tony. We're back in action, and I am so excited to get down to business here.
Back into business and back on to Kings Row for map number 2. KGSC already leading with first map victory. And we can see the Torb once again to come out for KGSC on the attack. The pleasure of this map, Matt, of course, being a hybrid one, is you capture control, and then it's all of a sudden just a payload push. You get your Torb out with the turret onto the card, and it's so hard to deal with unless GLC have a answer for it. Buff Bastion, of course, coming in with a sub to Dr. Venny in here for Buff Bastion. So we're missing a player, Matt, and it's going to be an interesting one how that swaps up the dynamic here for this side, because of course Pryan gone and Dr. Venny in. The comps seem to be swapping, and Radar is going to be back to the support.
Yeah, keen to see how Doc Venny functions heading into this one, as already KGSC look to storm out the gates there, bringing out the action. Lots of pressure being established early on. Genji v Genji action here. Here comes the deflections. Let's see how things go down now. Ooh, good anti coming out as well there. Sleep goes on to Bomber. That's going to be a huge impact coming forward. Metho going to be able to find Gandalf, though. Current goes down as well. Doc Venny really stepping up for their team here. We're going to see how things do manage, though, as it looks like we go for the reset now. And GLC, they hold strong. They keep the point alive.
Yeah, well, KGSC locked out for the moment, so they kind of just have to stand around and wait for everybody to respawn, get the sync up on the timers, and get themselves back into the fray. Discord Orb on to Cynico. Dancing around, both of these Genjis have done well so far. Great sleep on a Fish Girl, not able to do anything. Emptied up and take it absolutely to town. The health bar melted. The healers are able to help out. Sniper in Hip playing on the high ground here. Able to heal up, and Fish Girl absolutely clean sweeping them apart. And it is going to be the cap here for KGSC.
Yeah, so good start from GLC. Buff Bastion, but ultimately can only be so good as KGSC do manage to break through eventually. And now we'll start the payload portion of the map here. Good to see a bit from the hybrid section so far. But here we go again. Looks like Anna or Ahib going to be holding strong there. We're going to find a sleep off a cheeky angle, perhaps. I like this, they're leaving most of the healing pressure on Zenyatta for now. And then waiting for Anna to find something. Anti comes out, Dragon Blade as well. Good timing. Swagger tearing it up. Finds a 3k there. Almost on for 4. What a hassle. Cleans it up. And now they just get a pretty easy path forward.
And I'll tell you what a hassle when Swagger's absolutely going to town. Dragon Blade and the Genji once again. Swagger in element here on Kings Row, and KDC. They got this push going, 4 minutes. They'll get an extra bit of time. Doc Vinny trying to get some shots in, but halved HP. Radar on the Ana. He's going to have to heal his team up to help him out. They do have the Nano. They do have the Tac Visor. This could be a stronghold here for the side of GLC. And there is the Tac. There's the Dragon Blade. The Nano is onto the Visor, not the Blade this time around. So Doc Vinny able to get some big damage out, but it's being blocked by this Tranquility. here for the Transcendence. What a hassle and slam back. Fish Girl, bang, the 3 and the pin for good measure. Make it 4 and make it a potential play of the game. Fish Girl going huge.
My gosh, Tony. Just absolute chaos is ensuing right now on this map of Kings Row. GLC Buff Bastion trying their best to find an answer here, but it's just been so difficult for them. It's KGSC seemingly playing 2 steps ahead of them at this point. Looks like the turret will come through though. Bastion takes out the other turret from Metho there. Going to do a bit more with it as well now. KGSC just holding their ground for the minute. Fire Strike comes out as well. We're going to see what can happen. No one's contesting the point either, so KGSC just getting a free movement here until now. See just how far they can take it though. The pressure continues to build up.
And the pressure's starting to build up. Shadow available for Bomber. But a huge answer once again. KGSC just flexing muscle. There's the Shatter. And the pin is going to be on the 1. They take out a player, but what a hassle. And Swagger able to answer back one off the Dragon Blade here. Swagger just needs one more Shuriken, and there it is. Nano Blade online here for the side of KGSC. Both healers forced back off. They don't have a tank front line. The damage being pinned out in the open and will be healed up to full. KGSC, they lose a few members in the process, but they're still able to rally back to it. Still able to put a push back. Cynico sniped down to half HP. Power of the Zenyatta from what a hassle is also a worrying thing to notice. Great sleep, and they're just gonna watch Swagger fall. Here comes the pin, and here comes the Shadow. Fish goes in, gets the bolt on the Bomber. Reinhardt's both out of commission, and it's up to Swagger to do some heroics. Artillery not gonna happen, and there's nothing they can do. KGSC flex their muscle, and Fish Girl. That's textbook Reinhardt. You die for that every time, Matt. The pin, absolutely sensational.
Fantastic stuff, honestly, coming out there, and it will allow the side of KGSC to take the first round. All 3 points, going the full distance there. They got 2 minutes, 57 seconds at their disposal. If it does go the full distance, if GLC manage to push it to the end as well, then they've got a bit of extra time on their push heading forward, if we do see that outcome occur. But GLC now, pressure is on for them on their own attacking portion of the map here. Curious to see if they start off with a Widowmaker on Cynico there, maybe Raider supports on something else. There we go, Widowmaker going to come through. We got Doc Venny bringing out the Cassidy this time. It looks like it will be, going to go with the Sojourn actually. Not too shabby. Okay, Echo.
Oh.
They don't know what they want to play, Tony. They want to play the game. That's all we know for certain.
I don't blame Doc Betty right now. Having to come into such a heavy series, especially with GLC riding off the momentum of winning their last game to qualify them for the grand finals. But KGSC, strong dominant force put against the side of GLC. And you know what happens when you put a strong, impenetrable force against KGSC? They seem to come out on top every time. GLC looking to go for some height, looking to go for some snipes too here. Playing the aerial fight this time around, trying to get over the top of that Reinhardt shield. Is a valiant effort, I have to say. And looking to push forward with it. And you can see KGSC, they identify that the Widow's in play, and they force back around that corner.
Oh, good shot from Cynico. Opening things up. Doc Venny finding the turret as well. Metho gonna have to put a new one into commission. Doc Venny now pressuring up, getting the damage out to go down to their own damage, it would seem. Goodbye, Doc Venny. But nonetheless, they're still alive for the minute. Anti doing well for the side of KGSC there. Does allow them to take out Reinhardt, Kiriko, and Lucio. And that's going to completely unravel the push from GLC Buff Bastion.
I'll tell you what, Matt, who needs Swagger firing off when you got Fish Girl getting all the limbs right now? That's, I believe, the 4th triple I've seen so far out of them. And KGSC, if your tank's getting all the limbs, that's worrying for GLC. Anybody can get the kills, and it's about holding the point right now. Still 2 minutes 40, trying to push it on. Fire Strike finds out Radar, and well, they take out the turret. A good stroke of measure. Swagger, extremely low and extremely volatile. Needs to get back to safety. Fish Girl once again swinging that hammer, getting the pins so necessary. Bomber has been absolutely thwarted this game with all the pins that Fish Girl's getting. It's hard to really tank for your team. Bomber falls hit to get that one, and KGSC just flexing muscle right now, all the way in spawn.
Yeah, doing a great job so far. Really just pressuring them as much as possible. Bastion comes out. Maybe not for long. Dragonblade going to be activated there. Swagger and Fish Girl conquering again. Unleashing Terra. Ayip is going to be able to find a Raider as well. And they just continue to do everything within their power to keep this one alive. See how things go though. Bomber goes down again. Cynico going to be taken out as well. It is just a bloodbath at this stage, Tony. Terrifying stuff if you're on GLC.
Yeah, you hate to see it too. This is one of those games that kind of crushes the mental a little bit. KGSC, they've got all the room to work with, so you can't really blame them for going to the spawn camp. Shatter not even going to hit this time by the shield. The Shatter backlock by the shield. Both trade ultimates, it would seem. Looking for that lucky pin. The sound barrier is breaking it down here. Fish Girl low, but I believe Anti back up to full. Well, the trade actually to come out. Sorry, not the Anti. Wasn't anything from Anna. It was from the Zenyatta of all things. And again, KGSC just turned the fight on its head. A little bit of tactical crouching for good measure. KGSC are all over it, man.
Do love a bit of tactical crouching, Tony. And we do love to see the pressure all over it here. Looks like the artillery strike's coming through as well. Ooh. Doesn't do much, but it does find Swagger at least, I guess, so that's always a positive. Tactical Visor activated and deactivated immediately. Gandalf going to be activating the barrier as well, trying to get a bit of damage through it onto the Reinhardt there, not finding too much opportunity for it. They're just trying to isolate that player as quick as possible, but Fish Girl's alive! The Nano gets him a triple! Earth Shatter! This is amazing! They get the pin as well! Goodbye, Cynico! Goodbye to the whole of GLC there! Holy moly! The fact that Fish Girl gets out of that one unscathed, that is just truly incredible.
The absolute faith in your healer as well there. Ahip knew when to time that nano perfectly, and instantly Fish Girl was up to full HP and swiped away 3 members. Swipe away, dash to the hopes. KGSC with a dominant King's Row, and not the way we were expecting, especially the way GLC showed up in this map in the previous series. Now, hopefully this play of the game is what we just saw in that corner. Okay, no, it's a different one. It's the Shatter, or yeah, it's the huge Shatter here. Very big play from Fish Girl on the tank. Absolutely massive fire strike. 2 swipes away 3 just like that. KGSC, absolute dominant fashion here on King's Row.
Yeah, really fantastic teamwork coming through there, honestly. Like, GLC, unfortunately, just not able to find a way to break in there. They're doing a pretty good job. They're still playing as a team themselves, but I feel like the synergy and the cohesion just seems to be a bit more effective on the KGSC side of things at the moment. Like, they're able to keep themselves on top of things. I admire their targeting as well. I've seen really good communication be displayed there in their targeting of the characters. They're just able to single them out one after the other in a very quick fashion there. And yeah, GLC is now on a series point, and they really got to step it up here, because it's now or never, Tony. If they don't step it up now, that's going to be it. Grand final done and dusted. Definitely a scary start to our series.
A scary start. It's 2-0 already here for KGSC. And Matt, I checked the chat. I have a look at admin BK, and 10 minutes ago, is that only game 1? Jeez. that's a statement of what's going on this series so far. KGSC just so dominant, and GLC, they had one series warm up. It felt like they kind of had it to a T. They come into this one, they looked all on point. Cynico and of course Raider looked so well coerced in the DPS role, and then you have that sub in. You've got GLC playing completely different than the GLC we just saw about an hour ago. And well, for the side of KGSC, it feels like it's just an easy story to tell for them. They're looking very dominant, Matt, and I have to say, going now into Junkertown, my hopes are still with GLC, and we just need a little bit of a glimpse of brilliance. We need Cynico on that Tracer to go absolutely massive. We need some crazy flanks, some crazy pulses, and GLC could be back in it, I feel.
There's hope for them yet. I think there's certainly hope for them yet, and I'm eager to see just how things do unfold heading into Game 3 of this best of 5 series here. Definitely looking to do whatever they can heading forward into the third map here, which is going to be on Junkertown. So playing similarly to our last series, and it looks like we are going to dive straight into the game right now. So I'm keen to see, I guess, what heroes are actually going to be picked out here. As, you know, we've seen some pretty standard picks, but it is what it is, you know? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I have to say, though, a lot more damage being shown by the side of KGSC. The fact that they're willing to bring the Zenyatta to the table, that buff Bastion, haven't been. Gandalf now thinking about it and swapping up the compositions. It's going to be Cynico to the Torb. Doc Venny going to be on the Widowmaker, trying to start off with some strong highs here. For the side of KGSC, though, it's Fishgirl Winston, which I'm a big fan of, especially with a map like Junkertown, where the attacking side is definitely the team that has to make the space. They have to find an early pick. They have to dive on to the back line and get some damage through. And here we are, KGSC to the attack and already losing the turret. Doc Benny tapping away with the Widowmaker. There you see, Swagger gonna come in for a big flank already.
Yeah, looks like they're already getting the deflection through there. Playing a dangerous game. We'll see how it all works out for them though. Fishgirl getting in their base on the Winston there. Harissa doing a good job keeping them away, but no, Fishgirl pushes through. Does manage to find an opening there. Going to be traded out by Bomber. Nice and quick. Doc Venny doing a good job on the winner as well. See what happens heading forward. Doc Venny is out of here. Zenyatta, what a hassle. Going to be a hassle to Doc Venny for sure. But Gandalf, the other Zenyatta, does go bye-bye. So it will be Swagger to find two there. And it will be Cynico to get the trade back with the turret, I do believe. So, good stuff coming out from both sides thus far, but KGSC ultimately still pushing the point. Lots of pressure starting to build.
A lot of pressure starting to build. That Torb turret has been built on the card. Taken out by Bomber. So much damage being soaked here by KGSC. The Reaper getting in the face of Try Me though, but you're going to have to try him. Mortal gun in hand, armored up. Still able to live for the moment to help his healers. Winston, Fishgirl trying to get some action happening. Doc Venny though swapping off to this Reaper and already charged up 70% on the ultimate. Death Blossom could be huge in this next fight. What a hassle. Taken out. And GLC have found themselves some room to hold. Hip healing up his team with Ana. Does have the nano for the next fight. 95, 99 on the blade. Swagger. Imagine looking to rip that one in this next fight. But of course, for the moment, just getting some chip damage in between the sides.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job so far, Tony. And we'll see how things do go now. Dragonblade comes out. Swagger finds 2 kills. Opens up for 3 now. It is fantastic for Swagger at the moment. Looking to find a 4th as well. Bomber gets the deflection for a little bit, but Fishgirl comes in and sweeps it away. And it will be Swagger meeting face-to-face with Doc Venny now. Venny looking to use their abilities to keep them on the point for the time being, but it only can last so long, Tony. As now the point looks to push closer and closer to the checkpoint.
And I hate to say it, I think Swagger is so clean on this Genji. He just knows where to position the dashes too. That's a big thing to note. Normally you just see Genji throwing shurikens, you can get a few kills with the blade, but the dashes have been so well placed. He knows when he gets the resets, he knows when to dash on top, pop the blade, and go absolutely huge. He got 1 kill with the dash and then the swipe with the blade. Healers both down for GLC in that last fight, and you can see it just continues to steamroll here. KGC just getting the absolute work in here. GLC, and of course trickling in's not the way you want to go. Some swaps being called. Bomber now to the Zarya. Doc Benny now to the Pharaoh.
Yeah, the swaps are coming in hot so far, and we'll see just how far they can take it now with those swaps, whether it does work out for GLC here. Transcendence activated for GLC, helps them a little bit, but ultimately don't get much from it. Fish Girl going to be jumping in as well, using the electricity to their favor, finding Raider and Gandalf. No healers alive now for GLC, and they're losing pretty much everything else as well. Bomber, last player standing, trying to slip away. They do manage it eventually, but no, they're still staying on the point. Looking to do what they can here, trying to contest, but they do go down. So, we will see KGSC push the second checkpoint now, and there's only one home stretch to go.
And Matt, I tell you what, you hate to see it if if your GLC, the way that they're getting absolutely stormed in these team fights. Also wanting to highlight how well Fish Girl is playing this Winston. Normally we see some Winstons get a little bit over aggressive, get a little bit overzealous with the laser gun, and you know, kind of overextend for an extra bit of damage, maybe an extra kill, and then fall away. But Fish Girl's getting the right amount of damage in and then just backing off completely. Blade available, Nano online, Winston jungle too. They can go absolutely huge for the fight, but they don't even need to pop any of their ultimates. They're just wiping GLC in the face of their Spawn. Swagger getting a little bit of style on the Cynico, showing him who the true DPS ruler is in this server. KGSC, 3 minutes and they're almost close to the finish.
Yeah, getting closer and closer here. Rez comes out onto Cynico. Looks like it is going to be the barrier brought up. Dragon Blade activated. Goodbye. Swagger's back on the attack. Slice and dice, baby. It is clean. And look at that. Emoting on it as well. Team kill. And that is going to be the hill climbed up. KGSC push it all the way to the end. And now the sides switch.
And that's just round one. We get a little bit ahead of ourselves. KGSC. Dominant fashion, though. Not as dominant as actually we saw GLC take this map. They had 3 minutes 40 on the clock, only 2:40. But still very, very clean team fights out of KGSC. Overall, you saw, once again, Swagger just knows the ins and outs of this Genji. And KGSC looking to be crowned kings here, looking to be that Patchy Mari in just a second if they can claim a strong defense here against GLC in round number 2. And Matt, what do we need to see out of GLC? It's their final stretch. It's the last hurrah, potentially. Raidor to the Widow, and it's Cynico to the Genji. We need to see maybe the Tracer, I feel, out of Cynico, because that gives so much pressure that maybe forces KGSC to play a little bit scattered in their approaches, but only time will tell. We're getting ready for the final battle, potentially, here. KGSC to defend, GLC to attack. Both teams on the Zarya this time around. No Winston for GLC. It's an interesting one. They're kind of a little bit more worried about the damage output here. I have to say the Zenyatta pick has definitely been an unsung one here for KGSC.
Yeah, I think I want to see a Graviton Surge come through from GLC here. Just something really big, you know? Looks like Raidor going to be on a 2. Widowmaker now, though. Looking to do what they can. Get some shots through there. Looking over to the roof now to see what they can manage. Shot comes out there. No one able to stop them so far, though. So GLC doing a good job at holding the point thus far. But now, they soon could be met by KGSC as they hold from above.
And you can see KGSC, though, they're not forced off the high ground just yet. Cynico trying to dash in, but still no pressure here. They have found Genzo. They have gotten a bit of damage back on the side of KGSC, though. GLC in room to work with, but Raidor is taken out. Fishkill has fallen. The tanks are down. The healers are still up, though. That's the main thing to note here. GLC, they lost Genzo early. Nothing really to keep them alive for the moment. Bomber taking a bit of damage. Hip getting a bit of DPS in. Kinda has to. You know, Widow and Ana. Happy to take some shots, charge that ultimate, but for the moment, Swagger getting very, very risky. Raidor is going to zip up onto the roof. Well, the rest of the team pushes the tower.
I like the division of assets here. Looks like Cynico is going to be brought back as well now. Swagger finds Raider. Good start there. Oh no, Swagger's on the hunt again, Tony, and no one's able to deal with them. Oh, this is dangerous. No one's turned around. Swagger just getting free reign of damage. Fish Girl now joining in as well. It's a clearance of the GLC team here. KGSC, well played.
Now that was a huge play from Swagger and the Fish Girl Roadhog. Whole hog available. Nano Blade as well starting to come online. The swap to Kiriko here from What a Hassle. Maybe feeling like the Zen's being a little bit too hard to be used here. Not too many chokes being peaked here by the side of GLC. Damage output kind of falls off a little bit, especially bringing the Kiriko now. Dragon Blade, Nano, not actually following up the Dragon Blade, but both snipers taken out. It's Ana and Widow. One healer, one DPS, and Swagger takes them both and just dashes back to the cart. Nothing happened. KGSC wiped 2 players quickly in a minute 14 to work with GLC.
See if they can make it. KGSC seem to be in the driver's seat now, really starting to bring themselves up on top of their assets. Raider gonna be taken out there with Cynico now. Both DPSs down for the time being. Raider already back in action. Cynico soon to join them. Bomber, good use of the laser there, but the whole hog comes through. Doesn't matter if you got a laser, whole hog is going to send you back, and Bomber sent all the way back to spawn. Raider not so lucky. They'll be sent to the Shadow Realm instead.
And you can see, Rez comes out, Raider's back. One final push for GLC. They have Nano, they've got Grab, they've got Blade. And I feel a huge grab needs to come through here. GLC want to take this a little bit further than how far they've pushed it so far, but look at how far GLC are playing back. You've got 2 DPS in the front and then the healers in complete safety. There's the gravity that we needed to see. The Blade is coming through, the slice and dice. Cynico to take out What a Hassle, taking out another player. Try me though, but the rest of KGC are still here. Swagger looking to dive in just a moment. Dragon Blade comes up through a slither, and you can see that these heals are still coming through of how far KGSC played back. Swagger takes out Radar, and overtime is in full effect. The Dragon Blade is slicing and dicing. Fish Girl, Cynico, Swagger, Doc Benny. 1 player left. It's Bomber 404. An error in the server. KGSC 3-0 the series. They take home Junkertown. An absolute obliteration in that last fight.
And it will be Swagger, play of the game. Coming to you live right here. Last play of the game of the season. Oh, look at this moment, Tony. The Dragon Blades from Swagger were just so impeccable. Like, the fact that he carefully chose his shots as well when he went for the slices there. Just such a calculated approach on the Genji. Definitely much appreciated approach for their team, I am sure. Fantastic stuff, and a big congratulations for KGSC for taking away this season as our champions. Big shout out to them, Tony. And a big shout out to GLC as well for taking away a 2nd place there. Definitely love to see it from them. But speaking of people we want to thank, let's thank our lovely sponsors here, Tony. So, first and foremost, we do want to thank Acer Predator Gaming as our presenting partner of the AEL High School League here for Term 4. Discover your next favorite game. Play over 100 high-quality games with your new Acer and Predator Gaming Windows 11 PC and 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And next up, it is going to be none other than ViewSonic, our education partner. Upgrade your classroom today with ViewSonic's large format interactive displays and the MyViewBoard software suite. Big shout out to them. And next up, it's AOC, the gaming monitor partner. Get the best gaming experience with their latest range of gaming monitors. Big shout out to AOC. Next up, it's Rig, gaming headset partner. Experience great sound with Rig's gaming range of headsets. A big shout out to all of them. Definitely love all of our lovely sponsors there. And Tony, any final thoughts?
Matt, I have to say, what a showing from all these teams in the final. I have to say, we saw some big stuff from SCY, we saw some big things from GLC, and then we saw a crazy series from the eventual champions here. And I have to say, so well placed, so well fought. You saw so much team coordination from our champions here, Matt. And there's nothing more that you can want than people working together in the high school league here. And of course, a big shout out to our champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to our champions there. Big shout out to TwoTapTony for coming on with me as well. If you liked what you saw from us today, be sure to follow us on Twitter there, Matsy123 and TwoTapTony over there, maybe. Over there. Yeah.
Yep, right
that
there.
Guy. That guy. Yeah, check us out if you liked it. We'd cast some other stuff too, do some other cool things. Definitely check us out on Twitter. But that's going to be all from us for today, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to AEL High School Term 4 here for Overwatch 2. It's been real. Matsy and Tony signing off, and we'll see you again next time. Peace out, everybody, and have a great night.